What's up, family? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. And even though I may say that often, and it may even sound cliche, I do mean it. There's thousands of channels that you could tap into and be watching right now. But I appreciate you tapping into mine. I talked about a word before. I want to discuss it again because you never know who YouTube may push your videos to that somebody may need to hear it. When we're talking in particularly about marriage and vows, there will be a word that will come up that sounds romantic, that will sound like love, that will sound like something that is possible to achieve, that will, especially for the ladies, maybe produce some giddiness within. And that word, which is what all of the vows are surrounded upon and stands upon, is the word unconditional. If we are really honest, and that's why I wanted to make just a video just dedicated pretty much to this word. If we are really honest and we strip away all of the facade of what we think love is and what it should be, when we're discussing vows, when we're discussing words like forever, to death do us part, unconditional, to me, after having lived on this earth almost 48 years, to me, the only being that I see that can operate in unconditional love is God. It's the only one that I see that can make that deal. You know how you do deals in life, maybe I don't want to name call, but you might see a junkie or somebody on the street. There's only so much they can offer you before you realize you're going beyond what you're able to do. Man, I'll wash your car. Yeah, okay, you might be able to. I'll wash your windows, man. Yeah, give me a couple dollars. All right, you might be able to do that. Man, you for me sometimes I go to some of the gas stations in the hood just to say what's up to the brothers. I don't stay down there now. I don't stay down there. No, 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 no. I get my gas and I'm gone now. But I'll go in there and I'll tell, one of the street, dudes you could tell is on some substance. Man, watch my car for me, man. It be locked, I might even have one of my homeboys in the car with me. I just be talking, man, watch my car for me. Give you a couple dollars when I come out. Man, I ain't gonna let nobody take your car, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Give him $3, $4. That's a deal he can handle, so I'm okay with making that deal. But when you're speaking of a word like unconditional, and I'm gonna paraphrase it, means it's not bound by any terms and nothing can ever break it. It's not bound. It's an absolute, if you want to call it commitment or contract, an adjective. Unconditional. Adjective. Unconditional what? Love. And generally, our vows, whether we use the word unconditional or not, is connected to one another. Under no circumstances will my love for you change. Think about this now. Think about this. Under no circumstances will the way I feel, because most of us see love as a feeling when it's actually a verb. So do either one. Under no circumstances will the way I feel, or under no circumstances will the way I feel, which motivates my action towards you, change. There's nothing you can do that can change what I feel towards you right now. The way I feel towards you right now is unconditional love, and nothing can change it. Wait a minute. Nothing? Nothing. Okay, fellas, when she say 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, for some men a year, 2 years, she don't feel like it. She got a headache. Do we have unconditional love? When he doesn't help you with the load, he's strong man, big strong man. You got a 6'4" man that go to the gym every day, and he watch you carry baskets of laundry from the farthest room all the way through the kitchen, all the way into the laundry room, making several trips, because you got a whole load of Tommy clothes, whole load of Keisha clothes, whole load of your husband's work clothes, your uniforms. He don't never offer to pick a basket up and help lighten your load. How's this word unconditional sound? And that's the light stuff. That's light. That's light. That's easy. Under no circumstances, absolutely, I'm in it unconditionally, forever. I think that, and this won't happen, I'm just throwing it out there. I think that the reality is all or most of us, because again, there's going to be an exception to the rule. Most of us, if the truth be known, will marry or got married or will get married under conditional terms. If you think about why people get divorced anyway, whether it's the woman who initiated, which is the majority of the time, or the man who wants out but don't get out, so he may either suffer through it or get a side boo. The majority of the time, I guarantee you, somewhere in the relationship, something changed that caused a trigger in the brain that said, under these conditions, I cannot survive. Teach Professor X. Somewhere in the 9 years of marriage, the lady got unhappy. Not just because she got close to 45 and her body start doing weird things, the hot flashes kick in. Y'all know that stage. My middle age, excuse me, ladies, my middle age and up community. 1 minute you're hot, 1 minute you're cold, 1 minute your feet cold but your hands hot. 1 minute your hair's falling out. Sometimes hair on your face. You gotta use your husband's razor. Yeah, rough times. But that ain't always the reason why she want out. It ain't always because she 50 and look good and got a Corvette and now he want to show off for the ladies. Somewhere, something in the relationship changed that probably either was not communicated at all or was communicated several times on unlistening ears. But in that other person, it was conditional. I didn't sign up for this. This isn't what I signed up for. And the relationship, slowly but surely, begins to dissolve. Because at the end of the day, my opinion, human nature, the human race, humanity, whatever you want to call it, is not built for unconditional terms and policies of really anything, let alone relationship. There's always something that that person can do. A man may step out on his wife twice. She forgive him. The third time, she's out of there because under those conditions, she said, I will no longer live like this. A woman cannot show her husband no respect, blast him in front of the kids, co-workers, picnic, at the church, in Walmart, in Dollar General, make him look silly, and he's trying to hold his restraint so that he don't end up spending the rest of his life behind bars, and she know that at least in public he ain't gonna make a move, and he tell himself, under these conditions, I cannot survive. A man could be hooked on the OF industry, all that come with that industry. Sounds like corn. CORN. You apply the other letter. And the wife know, I ain't signed up for this. I hear you in the shower. I hear what you watching. I see it on your phone. The bill is coming to the mailbox. I'm reading the mail. I'm seeing it on the phone bill, however way that stuff come through. She said, I ain't signed up for this. And conditions begin to apply to the relationship. It's like marriages, relationships come with an expectation that as long as these things, these lines are not crossed, which somebody would say, well, Professor X, those things are understood. But when you say unconditional, it's an absolute word. So in the future, maybe things need to be spelled out a little more. How many men would marry if they knew 2 years later the wife, for whatever, we're not gonna use an excuse, we just gonna say whatever it is, that 2 years later they intimacy would go from 3 a week to once every 3 months. If he knew ahead of time that that was coming, would he sign an unconditional to death do us part contract? And then somebody will yell out, well, he don't need to be so selfish. What if that woman knew, once we married now, or in this long-term relationship, he's not going to show me any affection and honor. and treat me like he treat his co-workers or any other person, and I no longer feel his love, his respect, his consideration. I feel like I'm in this thing all by myself and I'm lonely, although I'm in a marriage or I'm in a relationship, I still feel lonely. How many women would have signed up for an unconditional contract? What's the answer, Professor X? I'm just throwing it out there that when we are in love and we're feeling good and we're feeling nothing can ever change the way I feel about this person, I just want you to know there's always something that can and will change your mind. Humanity outside of God and even with God will not do unconditional terms. Some and listen, in the marriages of old, say grandma stayed, grandpa stayed. Staying don't mean that you are still committed to that person. Sometimes staying just means you had nowhere to go. Don't forget, women couldn't even buy a house in some of our grandparents and great grandparents' time. So staying was not necessarily a sign of loyalty. It could have just been a sign of lack of finance that they stayed. So think about it. Put it in the comments, those of you that have watched all the way to this. How many of you, both men and women, here's the question, both men and women, just answer yes or no. How many of you will marry or be in a long-term relationship unconditionally? Absolutely no terms, no conditions whatsoever. If you would do it, put yes. Even if you're not married yet or dating yet, if you feel like that's in you to do it, put yes. If you feel like it's not, put no. That's all I'm asking y'all to do. And then hit like. Y'all be blessed.